Shouts out Big Steve.
Shout out Michael Bisbin. Shout out Icelandic Farts. You made it. Shout out SE for all. You made it. I assume you're locked in. Let me just tell the lads that I'm live on Twitter and we'll get into it, right? Early tease for UFC Atlanta. It is a card. It is a card indeed. Let me just do this. And there's a shit ton of regionals. There is PFL, there is Octagon, there is KSW, there's two UAE Warriors, there's Anthony Pettis FC, there's LFA, there's Ryzen. It's fucked. Pirate, don't think you're locked hard enough. Mate, I don't think you know how locked I am. Big C with the big T's. What's up, Subhuman? But yes, if you want to know how we went last week, the recap is out. Have a little sus. $1,000, 2 units. We keep on moving. Not the best year, but we're in profit, and it's going to get better. So that's all that matters. So what we're going to do is we got odds on 4 different promotions, and I'm going to start with them. I'm going to start with KSW. I'm going to start with Octagon, PFL, and then I'm going to finish with the UFC. If you don't like these other promotions, tough titties. I love them. You know, you can leave, you can come back. Or if you're watching this not live, you can fast forward, right? I haven't done much tape. If I don't know some of these regional guys, we're just going to move on. Easy peasy. All right, so KSW, my favorite for regional. So we've got El, Haj, Endai versus something Kawa. Yeah, this fight is Pick'em. Endai is a grappler. He's a bit of a shit fighter. And Kawa, let me just have a little reminder who Kawa is. He's making his debut in KSW, right? So that's an easy one. Let's move on. We don't want to be here all day, right? If I don't have a read, we're going to move on. Camille versus Kangji, right? Camille is a guy that was undefeated until my boy, one of the best Serbian dudes out there, Miljan Zdravkovic, knocked him out as a big underdog. Played Miljan back-to-back in KSW. And now he's fighting this Kangji guy. This Kangji dude was on PFL, right? And yeah, he got ran through by Ali Taleb, and then he made his debut against Rocha Labers and lost that too. Right, Camille is a favorite. Makes sense. He is quite good. He's a bit of an ape. But, you know, that guy that beat him, the Serbian dude, is quite good himself. So, yeah, he's a favorite. Makes sense. Let me just open up see how much of a favorite he is. Wow, massive favorite. All right, let's move on. Islam Jablov versus Marcelo Morelio. Right, this is a short notice fight. Jablov is decent enough fighter. This Morelio, where did I find this Morelio guy? I've taped this Morelio guy just somewhere last week. Oh, where the hell? Oh, that's right. He fought this Jakob guy that was on Brave FC. I should have played Jakob at Pick'em. Yes, that's right. He looked a decent enough fighter. So now he's making his KSW debut. There you go. Looks like taping regionals pays off. I need to tape him some more. Islam's decent. You know, he's got very good wrestling. He's won as an underdog on KSW before. But what is he here? He got $1.40 favorite. Not really feeling it. Let's move on. Damian Stasiak versus Michel Domin. This is a grappler versus grappler. Domin will look to take you down, and Stasiak will look to sub you off his back. You know, I feel like if Stasiak can't get the sub, he's going to lose. You know, elite read right there by me. But let me see. Let me get a reminder. He got knocked out by Adam Soldev. I was on Soldev there as an underdog. Crazy line. We went to split with Robert Richala. I think Robert Richala is in UFC now, right? Lom Aliescu. That was a close fight too. Yeah, right. I think Stasiak still has some juice in the tank. Domin is a young guy. 30. Oh, I guess he's not. He beat Ramos. Ramos is another guy that's, you know, active guard. Wants the submission off his back. Yeah. What's the line on this? Stasiak slight favorite, $1.66. Interesting. Tape needs to be done. Viktor Zeleleski versus Mateusz Pavlak. Zeleleski is a big hyped project. He's like 22. He lost his first fight to Grisbeck, who just fought for the title again and had a close fight. No shame in that. I don't really know who this opponent is. Mateusz Pavlak. Let's have a look. Let's wikicap him. Let's wikicap this guy. I have a feeling this is his debut. Correct. Wow, that is a salty record. And because of that, the line is $1.16 on Victor. Yeah, I mean, seems like a setup. Seems like they want their prospect to bounce back. Damian versus Cedric Lashima. I don't know who this Lashima guy is. I know Damian. He's a mainstay in KSW. He almost won the light heavyweight championship. Cedric, let's see what this debut guy looks like. Fighting in Apollo. Apollo. I don't know what the hell Apollo is. What promotion is that? Maybe France? Belgium? Really salty record. I mean, he has some finishes against bums. Maybe he can finish Damian. Damian's been knocked out before. He doesn't have much striking defense. Where are we at? Damian, $1.40 favorite. So far, not liking all the chalk on KSW. Roman Szymanski versus Kasper Formella. This is an interesting one. Should be competitive enough. Roman is a bit washed. He came in injured against Marcin Held. He lost. He also lost against Marcela, the werewolf. Not the best look. He also lost to Leo Britcha. We played him there. I shared that out to the Discord 2 years ago. But he's on a 3-fight losing streak. He's looking a bit done, to be honest. He's only 32. So, yeah. I'm feeling Kasper Formella. Formella's not the best fighter, but 18-5. He gasses quickly. But, feels dog will pass. Right, he's a slight underdog, 220. So that's where we're at. I can see the comments piling up. Let me address the comments. All right, put your glasses on. There, I left them in the other room, Lou. So I'm just gonna suffer. I'll just burn my eyeballs without my blue light blockers. I heard this is the best video for heterosexual pics. Yes, well, debatable. I don't want to put myself in a square peg. Dogfather, my goat is live. What's up? Nothing wrong with homo pigs. Yeah. Serbia stand up. Let's go. Mitrovic season. Rem Dog, what's up, Steve? Always appreciate you taking regionals. What's up, Rem Dog? Okay, the Dogfather ego is getting out of control. Yeah, I agree. Cameron Smotherman versus Ricky Simone. Correct. All right. Well, no interesting comments. Back to this. Sebastian Sizik, I forgot how to pronounce his name, versus Polishuk. So, title fight for Polishuk. He lost to Azevedo, got submitted. Azevedo got a title shot. Sebastian beat him. And now Alexei beat. Who did he beat? Let me have a look. He beat Rocha Labez. And now he's getting another title shot just like that. Sebi, as they call him, he's a big favorite. Makes sense. He's the reigning champion. But, it's a dog or pass. Sebi has been submitted a bunch of times by the Polish Charles Oliveira, as they call him. He lost a split, and then he got guillotined in the last one. He had a draw against him, and he had a decision lost outside KSW. So they fought 4 times. Yeah, I guess, Polishuk could submit him, but he beat Islam. He's fighting on this card. Martins, Rakic. Yeah, I don't know, man. He should be the favorite, but this Alexei Polishuk generally seems to be submission or bust. Yeah, I don't know. Tape needs to be done. All right, and we're in the main event. Philip de Vries, Verzosek, grappler versus striker. As grappler versus striker as it gets. Phil de Vries, reigning champion. He's beat Dushko Tošić twice. He's beat a bunch of these other guys. He beat Sakai. He's a $1.44 favorite. It makes sense. We've been cashing in on Verzosek for a while now. He's just been running through the last 3 guys in under a minute. He's knocked out Artur Spilka, 14 seconds. Ivan Vitasovic, 55 seconds. And Mateusz Scheffel, that was one of my biggest bets, 25 seconds. They're giving him all these chinny strikers. He hasn't fought a grappler once. And even one of these strikers on his record, maybe Mosny, took him down, headed back, and even dropped him badly. So it makes sense why Old Mate's the favorite. Phil the Fries, like obviously the kickboxer is a grappler. He's a white belt. But I'm not really looking to play. I know Philip de Vries has looked like shit recently. He's got this, Augusto Sakai fight that looked very average. And he hasn't fought anyone good. Stoshiev, all these guys are washed. Todd Duffy, Simon Bayor, Stoshiev again. Like, Sakai has always been bad on the ground. We've seen what Alistair Overeem did to him and Spivak, right? Spivak that just fought this weekend looked like trash. So I expected Old Mate to run through him. He's 39. He's almost 40. So maybe you can rely on this Hightower, the kickboxer, to run through him as well. But he does have a good chin. Maybe it's a dog or pass, but very volatile fight. Very volatile fight. So that's it for KSW. A lot of I just turned my screen off. A lot of chalk. I don't know how I feel about it. A lot of chalk. I don't know how I feel about it. But let's move on to Octagon. Alrighty. Share screen. So, Octagon, Vemola versus Attila 3. These guys fought 2 other times. They're both washed. They're both old, but they're making us watch it again. All right, Daniel Sallaya versus Jan Stanovsky. Jan is another guy that wants, to submit you off his back, guard puller, etc., etc. Daniel Sallaya, I think this might be the better Sallaya. These guys are actually Serbian-German. He beat Sami Zarabi, which is impressive. We played Zarabi versus a kid that we'll talk about soon enough on this card. Yeah, right. What's Sallaya's price? Let me have a look. What's Sallaya's price? Basically, if he can stay out of the sub, he should win this fight. Sallaya. I don't even have his odds on the bloody thing. Cool. Is the fight cancelled? Let me have a look on Bet365. Right, so this fight's not on Bet365 or on Fight Odds, so it might be cancelled. Whoops. All right, let's move on. Alina Dalazlan, Rosa Gumiena. I don't know either of these chicks. One of them is a massive favorite. Let's move on. Carola Shavi versus Jakob Bfalski. So Bfalski is the guy that lost to Zarabi, that we faded in his Octagon debut. He's basically a very young green kid. He's got good striking, good boxing, but he's still green, And he fought this other guy that's not bad on the regional scenes. PK Zada. And I thought he was very close to losing that fight. So that was only the same year that he lost to Zahabi, and then he just knocked out 2 bums in Octagon. And I haven't really been able to find this Batobo fight, but he hurt him with leg kicks and eventually finished him due to doctor stoppage. But that guy was so short. He looked much, much smaller than him. Ultimately, he's fighting Karo Rashavi. He is a washed, chinny kickboxer that's been in Octagon for a while, 14-8. But he's fought the who's who. He's still got some heart. He had a back and forth fight with Polakoj, a German guy that's a boxer wrestler. He won round 1. He almost got an anaconda choke on him. And Polakaj, toughed it out. And then he won rounds 2 and 3 with wrestling. Had great cardio, great boxing. I was going to fade him against his Eugene Black-Dell. It was plus 150, kind of a similar price here. Dell almost knocked him out. And then he came back. He hurt him, and he got a guillotine. So he's a dog. If you don't knock him out, he's going to keep on coming forward. He has good get-ups, good striking, obviously, as a kickboxer. And he likes his front chokes. But he has lost, he got knocked out by Langal. He lost to Zeleleski, which is no shame. But he beat Kahoot, who, is another journeyman that's a bit on the worse side. So if you're not good, he's going to beat you. If you're not Octagon ready, he'll beat you. He'll give you the veteran savvy. But if you got some finishing upside, you might be able to knock him out. Right? This kid, Jakob, I get it. It's a dog or pass. He's obviously 22. He's got all the potential upside. He's nowhere near washed. He's just going to keep improving, but he's still green. Anyone that's good, he still almost loses those fights. So I'm not sure. Not sure just yet. I did a bit of tape on this one, but I'm not sure. It's a dog or pass. JB Cordero versus David Hoshek. If you remember on the podcast, I said David Hoshek is an absolute bum. He's one of the guys that lost to Gustafsson. They just fought in the UFC, performed great. So yeah, Cordero should run through him. He's a chinny as well. Cordero, is a massive favorite. It makes sense. If we had under 1.5 rounds, easy bet. Even Buchinga versus Vladimir Langal. I just spoke about Langal. He knocked out Carola. He's an old boxing vet that's just tough as nails. He gets a lot of knockouts. He likes takedowns as well. Buchinga is a $1.40 favorite, but he's a bit washed in my opinion too. He's very chinny. We've been fading him a bit. He almost got knocked out by a grappler, Mafuka, and he came back and he broke him. That's what he does. He gets hurt. He gets hurt, and he comes back and he breaks you. He's got relentless cardio and pressure. But he gets if he doesn't come back, it's usually because he's been knocked out cold. Right? He's almost 40 years of age, so I think it's a dog or pass for me here. Langal is the side. Langal is also old, not the best, but he's capable enough of knocking out even Buchinga. It's just, if this gets extended, it's probably going to be sweaty. But yeah, dog or pass for sure. This is one I'm interested in to tape. All right, Bojan Velickovic, Ronald Paradasa. Ronnie's moving up to welterweight. Probably a good move. He was cutting a lot of weight to lightweight. He was looking worse and worse. Maybe it was affecting his performance. This one's a pick'em. I can't really have a strong read as of yet without any tape. Bojan's okay. He was one of the first Serbians to make it to the UFC. Serbian steel. I've never really rated him, but he's made his bones in Octagon. He won a lot of money, became the Octagon champion. So good on him. But yeah, pick'em. I don't know. Ronnie might look better at welterweight. Maybe he's just not that good. Yeah, I'm leading Ronnie without any tape. Frederick was grown versus Lucas Alcina. Man, this Neanderthal, he's everywhere now. I regret not playing him as an underdog in his debut. I was telling people, I was all about the hype. He won, and now everyone is glazing him. And they've given him this bum, Lucas Alcina. He's got no ground game. Old mate Carlos Vermola submitted him as well. Frederick should do the same. $1.25 favorite. Squash match. They're trying to push the hype. Matej Penaj versus Piotr. I think this fight's rescheduled. Makhmed Muradov versus Kinsel. This is a great fight for the title. 5-rounder, middleweight title fight. Muradov $1.40 favorite. I don't know. Is it worth it? Kinsel is the best guy he's fought since being cut from the UFC. Right? Do I trust Muradov? Scott Askham, completely washed. Anamoto, short notice fight, completely washed. Brian Barberena, whatever. Lost to Kaya Bahia, lost to Jeremy Shah. That was a red flag. And then all these dudes that he beat in the UFC, Sanchez, Trevor Smith, the Chirico, Bailey. Yeah, I don't know. Not really feeling a parlay piece on Makhmed Muradov. Need to do some tape. And Carlos Vemola, Attila Vey. Third fight. Vemola is a slight favorite. I don't know why they're fighting again for the third time. Just don't understand. But yeah, I mean, this is a washed old man fight. What happened last time? He beat Attila via triangle choke, and then he took an ungodly amount of punishment from Real Fury. Yeah, whatever. Not interested. Let's move on. Let's move on to the PFL. This is the earliest card of the week. It's honestly the toughest card to tape, right? I don't know how I feel about these odds, a lot of these odds, but Umalato versus Anthony Ivy, he should kill him. He should run through him. Ivy's always been shitty. Ajuj versus Landu, I'm pretty sure this fight's off. Jason Dana versus Nathan Gilmore, 2-0 versus 4-5. What are we doing here? Obviously, setting this guy up. Alexei, they've been trying to push him through the PFL for a while now. He's a massive favorite, but they're giving him Mike Bradley. Mike Bradley is not the worst fighter. Alexei has looked a bit off in some of these fights. Obviously, he's still got a ton of hype on him. We'll see what the totals are. I'm not going to parlay him. It's an unplayable line. Let me just get a reminder. Yeah, $1.14. Disgusting. Let's move on. Mahmoud Bekhamov versus Kennedy St. Louis. St. Louis has been in PFL as well. He's like a grappler. He might be a bit shitty. I played him as a dog on PFL Challenger Series. I missed that promotion. It was actually better for making money than Contender Series UFC. But yeah, they're bringing him back. Bekhamov, Mahmed, not the best guy. We faded him with Gene at chalk, like minus 200, killed him. So, yeah, I'm not really looking to parlay him. I also faded him with a washed Ray Cooper III, and he's squeezed by Ray Cooper on split decision. So, yeah, it's Kennedy St. Louis or pass, honestly, in my opinion. Or maybe Mahmed KO if you're feeling cheeky. We'll see what the unders are when they open up. Hopefully sometime soon because the card is in 3 days. Alrighty. Joseph Luciano, Sarek Shield. These guys are already meant to fight. Luciano was a massive favorite. He's a massive favorite again. Grappler versus grappler. Shield has been finished before. I'm not looking to parlay Luciano, honestly. Let's move on. Jeremy Kennedy versus Adam Borix. These guys fought as well, and ages ago in Bellator, and Borix just shut down Kennedy with leg kicks, and Kennedy didn't bother shooting. And then in round 3, he started wrestling, and he won round 3 clear. So, honestly, Kennedy, I've never been a fan of him, but he seems to be improving. He was almost just the first person to finish and beat Kabalaev in the last round. Now, that could be a mixture of Kabalaev being washed after his injury and being 34 and the layoff, or, Kennedy improving because, he had a competitive fight with Gabriel Braga too, and, he hurt Patricia Pitbull as well. I played Pitbull, but I've never seen that kind of power from Kennedy before. So he's hurting Mavlid and he's hurting Pitbull. Pitbull's washed, obviously. He almost got knocked out by Year as well, and he's been hurt many times. But I'm just seeing things where he looks a bit better. He's kind of improving. I never rated him at all, but he's having competitive fights with Braga and Mavlid and these other guys. But he's a sniffer. He's a massive sniffer. So hey, if he sniffs here, he should be able to do much better than minus 200. Borix is minus 200. Borix, he's 31 now. I think he might be dropping off a bit. He lost to a wash Pitbull. He beat Bazola, but he kind of let Bazola back into the fight a little bit. Got knocked out by Jesus Pinedo. I regret that. Pick him on Pinedo so badly. Yeah, I don't know. Dog or pass. I don't really feel like Borix at minus 200, Alrighty, Movlid Kabulaev versus Kim. So I played Kim, or I played the under in his debut, and I said after watching Movlid versus Kennedy, whatever price Kim is, I'm going to play him over Movlid because he looks completely washed. And I always say on PFL, however these fighters look in round 1, they generally look like that throughout the whole season because it's only 2 months and a bit difference. If they come in with injuries, they generally have that injury throughout. But I don't know. He was a big underdog, Kim, and now quite a bit of money is coming on Movlid, and now he's minus 200. Not as I taped this one. Not as interested anymore because Kim is hittable, man. I couldn't go big versus Nathan Kelly, even though he's a fraud, because he got dropped badly against this dude that he finished in round 3. He got kind of stunned by Bogatov. That's a similar matchup. Bogatov is a grinder. He was in the UFC. He lost a split to him, but he was taken down with ease and didn't really work his way up. So I don't know. It's a dog or pass, really. It's a dog or pass. I feel like Movlid can hurt him. He can obviously take him down, but Kim has faced this matchup many times in Brave FC, and now he's facing it again. So he's a fighting nerds. He can probably get some damage off on the feet if Movlid, maybe doesn't have the best chin. Who knows? He has been knocked out before, and now he's hurt by Jeremy Kennedy. So dog or pass, but shame that I missed on that early line. Big shame. Logan Storley versus Kikuri. Massive favorite. What could go wrong? Logan Storley. Takes people down, does no damage. What could go wrong? Kikuri's a striker. I just need to watch his bloody old Pancrase tape to see what he's like when people try to grapple him. Right? I don't think we've seen it in his last few fights in Bellator, so I'll have to do some digging, but yeah, sure, it's a dog or pass. Pineda versus Braga. Yes, another rematch. But not only a rematch, a rubber match. that we all asked for. They're probably two of the best guys in the featherweight division in PFL. Pinedo is now minus 200 because he's beat Braga the last time via knockout. First time he lost via split. I think he's better. But whatever. Minus 200. How much value am I getting there? Braga's improving too. Whatever. Big Bird. He fooled you, Steve. He ain't fighting nerds. Right, wasn't he wearing the glasses last fight when he won? Oh, well, fooled me. Is what it is. Jason Jackson versus Thad Jean. I think Thad Jean has potential. I've been betting him for a bit now. Challenger Series, his last fight. He's an underdog. We're not going to see that often. I haven't taped it yet. But, Thad is very explosive, very powerful, but so is Jackson. Jackson's a hard man to beat. Right? He's great attributes, very strong, very powerful, long, has great wrestling, great submissions. He can be taken down. He can be held down. I think his chin is good too. I haven't really seen many people hurt him for a long time. He's just a winner. He's a winner, but minus 200, I felt more comfortable playing his minus 200 against a washed Andre Koreshkov than Thad Jean. So pre-tape, this feels like Thad Jean or pass. But I hope he fights a bit better than he did against Mahmed because he was a bit wild there, a bit reckless. So, yeah, Thad Jean or pass for me. I'll have to look into that one. Of course, Big Bird loves it. He loves Thad. Alrighty. So that's it. It's PFL really, really seems tough for betting. A couple of things that are standing out, but yeah, very tough. All right. This is why we're here. The UFC early tease. And I've taped a bunch of fights. I wanted to get ahead. I was feeling locked in, so let's get through it, right? Vanessa Demopoulos, Jamie Lynn Horth. No, thank you. No interest. Horth moving up. Demopoulos moving up. Short notice. Whatever. Horth can get takedowns, but ain't no way I'm playing Horth at this line. Philip Rowe, Ange Lusa. Yeah, Lusa should win. This is just a welterweight shithouse fight. What's Phil Rowe been? Oh yeah, he lost to bloody Jake Matthews. Yeah, it seems a similar matchup. Ange Lusa is more athletic, more durable. Rowe has kind of chin issues. Lusa's lost to Gabriel Bonfim, not looking too bad now, actually, upon rewatch. Yeah, but it's hard. It's hard to play Ange Lusa at chalk. But maybe there's value. Maybe he looks like Reese McKee, or he's just rinsing him till round 3. $1.72. Yeah, not the worst. Maybe. Cody Durden versus Jose Ochoa. Wow, a lot of money on Ochoa. I think he was picking him at one point. I get it. Ochoa looks special. He looks good. Some people are telling me he doesn't. I think it's a much easier striking fight against Cody Durden, who's hittable and he's just very aggressive, than Leon Kavanagh, who showed very good distance management in that fight, especially with Jose Ochoa being a kicker. Kavanagh was feinting a lot and making sure he was out of range. And he still hurt Kavanagh. And, he almost submitted him in round 2. And rounds 1 and 3 were competitive. He's very green. He's never been to round 3. So that will be a good learning experience. And if he had any UFC jitters, they should be gone now. So, yeah. It's hard at this line. I wish the line was a bit better. But he could cover, in my opinion. I need to do more tape on Cody Durden, right? But Durden's losing more than he's winning these days. He never should have been ranked. He's got that one win against Schnell and they kind of revived his career, but getting finished by Tagia, getting finished by Bruno. Van should have finished him, so I don't know. We'll see what the line goes. Malcolm Wellmaker, Chris Martinho. I just played the under 1.5 here. It was pick'em, whatever. I played it for whatever the limit on Bet Online was. Come at me. I don't feel overly confident, obviously, after a little bit of tape. Chris Martinho is extremely durable. The last bump that Malcolm Wallmaker couldn't finish on regionals, 3 fights ago, I think it was, he was quite durable too. All his losses are via decision, but Malcolm still hurt him. So I just thought, don't overthink it. Malcolm Wallmaker is going to KO is going to be a lot worse. Just play the under. The man just killed Cameron Simon with one punch. Chris, he might be a bit patient in here. He's not stupid, but. What's he going to do? His whole style is pressure into the pocket and volume. So, Malcolm is now got his UFC debut out of the way. They're giving him a squash. So, yeah, got a little bit on the under. We'll see where the line goes when I can actually tip it out. Michael Chiesa caught McGee. Everyone said it. Michael Chiesa is not worth his price. He submitted Ferguson and he beat Max Griffin, which I guess is impressive. He's not completely washed, so I guess now he's a massive favorite. But yeah, whatever. I mean, I haven't really taped this one just yet, but the line seems off. Paul Craig, Rodolfo Bellato. I taped this when it was initially decided that we're going to fight, and I left thinking, wow, Bellato's actually not that bad, not as bad as I thought. He did well against old mate that he drew against Jimmy Crute. I think if this gets out of the first round, I think Bellato's going to swamp him. He's going to swamp Paul Craig. Bellato's okay. He's shit, but he's okay. Like, he can do something well here. Maybe Bellato 2-3 KO. We'll see. Lubecha. Demo Hort can be a great co-main on the first Antarctica card. Yes, I knew I was going to summon Dogfather with the word swamp. Main is Gunnar Nelson versus whoever. Correct. Durden is the C word. Interesting. Matinho knows the assignment. Yes. Matinho's been on a 4-fight win streak, so. All right, Alonso Benefield versus Umar C. I don't have much to say here. Umar C is a big favorite. I need to rewatch Alonso Benefield versus that dude that he barely beat or barely lost to. Can't remember. I think that was in the morning, and I just slept through that card because you can only wake up 2 a.m. for so many shit UFC cards, right? Let me see. Oh, he beat Julius Walker by split. There you go. So this one might be tough. I would say Omar C is better than Julius Walker, but he's not the best. So whatever. I need to do some tape. Yeah. It's a hard click. Alonso Benefield, always a hard click. But I did click him against Azamat Murzakanov, so there you go. I just realized I haven't talked about totals. Let's quickly go through the totals. Over under, Nanjalusa, Rove. I'll probably play the under. Big plus money. Malcolm Womack I already mentioned. I played the under. Horth. It's going to be a massive juicy over, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's probably going to go to boring decision. Ochoa Durden. I don't mind this under. Ochoa is a really potent finisher. I wish it was better. And it's getting hit as well. That's a shame. I think Ochoa could potentially submit or KO Durden. I know Durden is tough, but it's achievable. Paul Craig Bellato. This is a 1.5, yeah, and the under is taking action. I reckon I like the over here. That's what I liked the first time. Paul Craig versus Bellato. I like the over because a lot of their finishing equity is submission for both, and I think they're both high level enough not to get submitted, right? Based off Paul Craig and Bellato's similar fights versus Crute. So that's what I liked last time. We'll see how it goes. What else? Chiesa versus McGee. Yeah, that's going to be a juicy over as well. So I'm probably going to like the under, but I'm not going to force it. Wow, the over is actually taking action. Yeah. Good luck. I could never play an over at minus 200 unless it's a special rare case. Is that every total? What's Omar C? 1.5 rounds. That's interesting. I feel like it's probably going over. Alonso and C seem quite durable. I don't really think C is going to take him down and submit him like Tuko Tokos, right? Interesting. So that's all the totals. Alrighty. Cody Brundage versus Mansour Abdul Malik. Yep, same as well, Maker. I hit that under. I didn't think I would like it as much because I'm very cautious of these unders, and Malik has gone over 1.5 rounds twice. I lost my ass once in his contender series versus Schultz. And the second time I didn't play it versus Nick Hein when a lot of people did, and he burned people there again. So ultimately, Malik hits extremely hard. And, when he gets out of round one, he's patient. He kind of slows down a bit. He's carrying a lot of muscle. And he was very patient against Schultz, and he was very patient against Hein. And once he finally landed something, he swarmed. But ultimately, taping Cody, and this guy is such a mental midget. He basically gets hit once. He got hit once by a washed Marquez, and that was it. He was almost finished. He survived the barrage, but I don't know if he'll be surviving Malik's barrage. I'm going to say no. So I'm not going to overthink it. I feel like the under should be 80%. And not only that, but Cody's path is probably a round 1 overhand right KO over Malik as well. I posted on my Twitter, Malik getting hurt by an 0-2 dude badly, and then he recovered. He obviously got hurt by Klein's spinning elbow in his second UFC fight as well. And how I feel this will go is that, Cody will not strike with Malik. He only struck with Marquez because I felt like that was the assignment. I think the game plan was, we just seen Marquez get ran through by Zachary Reese. Let's run through old mate. But yeah, Brundage is scared in there. If it's like some big black dude, like Razak, like Malik, I think he's going to shoot for a single ASAP. I think he's going to eat some ground and pound, and I think he's going to die. That's it. Hopefully it's not another back of the head shot. Cody Garbrandt versus Ronnie Barcelos. I like Barcelos early in the week, like literally after the UFC ended. I let some people talk me out of it, and now the line is gone. I basically feel like Barcelo is a lot less washed. I don't think he needs a takedown. I think he can hurt, potentially knock out Cody. I think he can take him down and rinse him on the ground. I think Cody's grappling is worse. He's full of injuries. His wins are like Kelleher and Trevin Jones. And Barcelos fought Trevin Jones too, and he beat the crap out of him, 10-8 in multiple rounds. Cody almost lost in round 3 to Trevin Jones. He almost got knocked out with ground and pound. Yeah, it's basically a washed versus washed. I think Ronnie has more juice in the tank. I think beating Pelton Talbot is better than anything Cody could do. And it just showed me that maybe Raoni is not done just yet. Also, beating Canones, it was a bit of a red flag. But he destroyed his shoulder. He pulled his shoulder in round 1, and he still came back and got a round 3 sub. It's like the only sub that he has in his whole entire career in the UFC, despite being super high level. I'll see if I live bet this fight instead, just because the line has gotten away from me. And Cody usually does well being faster, and maybe you can catch Raoni in the first round, because Raoni takes a bit to get warmed up. The under also has my attention, but Raoni has generally been very bad with unders, and Cody is super negative, so we'll see. Raoni will pass for now. Edmund Shabazian and Petrosky. I do regret not playing the under. The under was plus 140. I was like, I played Cody and I played Wallmaker under. I feel like Shabazian under is good too, because he correlates with him, right? If he's going to win clean, it's going to be round 1 or 2 KO. He's knocked out a bunch of dudes back to back. He's hurt a bunch of dudes. Petrosky's been knocked out, by a hip of Malkoun. He hasn't really fought many technical strikers, and Edmund can stuff takedowns as well, especially early. So the only other technical striker he's fought was Pereira, and he killed him with the first 1-2 he landed. So Edmund loves a 1-2. The line got destroyed. So now I'm just thinking, at this price, if Petrosky is winning, the fight's going over. He could barely finish anyone. Edmund has showed good submission defense. It's a weird fight. It's a weird fight. I feel like I don't really know what Andrew Petrosky's chin is like. Like, they've literally been avoiding giving him strikers throughout the whole time. So yeah, weird fight, but it's Petrosky or pass. I've come around. I've taken this fight as well, and I've come around to him. He can win fights. He's better than his odds indicate, but yeah, very volatile. Rose Namajunas, Miranda Maverick, another chick that Rose should beat. Take care of her just like she did with Tracy Cortez. A little bit of money coming on Miranda. It makes sense. It's dog or pass, whatever. Rose is a head case. But she did well against Aaron. She did well against Cortez. She should do well against Miranda. Let's move on. Kamaru Usman versus Joaquin Buckley. I need to take this one. My gut is saying Usman can put up a fight. He can definitely put up a fight better than a washed Wonderboy or a washed Luque, who we just seen, get knocked out by Holland as well. Like, the only bad fight really is the Leon Edwards rematch. The first fight, Usman was rinsing him. And Kazma, it's not really a bad fight either. Comes up, right? Short notice, upper weight class, round 1, whatever. He got rinsed, but he's about literally the only guy in the UFC that got rinsed by Kamza in round 1 and survived, right? Every single, he didn't even bother taking Burns down. But anyone else that he's taken down and rinsed, he's killed him. So Usman still has the chin, the durability. 2 years off. He's a bit old now, 38. Yeah, Buckley, man. Buckley. I had like a max bet on Buckley, 2,500 against Kobe. That was easy. Kobe, what's Kobe going to do? Just grind on him for 5 rounds, not do any damage and win? So, wash Luque, wash Stevenson, wash Kobe. Alex Morono, come on, give me a break. Got knocked out by Chris Curtis. Nursultan Ruzaboyev is his best win on this little streak. Barely beat Razak Hassan. He was getting grappled by Razak. Man, right now, Usman, the gut is saying there might be something on Usman. But tape needs to be done. Tape needs to be done. All right, that's it. A long one, as I said, 40 minutes for an early tease with no recap. You ain't going to get more previews on the regionals anywhere else. Lou Betcher, Cody's elite striking is only second to his elite ability to be a great human. Yes. But that's a statement. Subhuman, Cody B is out. No, well, I hear some people saying that Cody Brundage is out, but nothing official. So, if it was official, it would be in the big MMA Discord, right? And there's nothing about it. They were on the Panaz Piotr fight in Octagon. They were on Cup versus Royval. Nah, I think if something was official, the lads would have reported it. So we'll just keep on waiting. Hope not, because I like that under better than I like the Wellmaker under. Okay, Petrosky Swamp. Yes, I can see it. Dogfather value. Yes. Dogfather likes Ochoa. Dogfather, where do you cap Ochoa? Where do you cap Ochoa? I just feel like, I don't know because if I'm locked in, but I just feel like locking in everything in on this card. I feel like locking in a bunch of chalk. Like locking in Ochoa chalk. I already have 2 chalky unders. I feel like, I don't know, what else was the chalk? Barcelos chalk, Mahoney, Barcelos. It's when you overthink it, the things don't work. And I overthunk Mahoney, the line got away. Maybe I should have just locked it in. 70%. Wow, there you go. You heard it from the Dogfather. Dogfather is absolutely streaking, right? Jump in the Big Brain MMA Discord if you want, because it's not for me. It's for the other sharps that are killing it. I have a better line, but I have a big bet. There you go. Don't be sad on the big bets. All right, that's it, lads. 42 minutes. I'm out. If I don't do a show end of the week, it's because I've taped a lot on these few cards, and I've given you quite good in-depth analysis, and it's because I'm grinding to actually find great bets on this massive weekend. I'm looking for 4 units, 2K. It'll be great to do that, and it's all about not burning out. I don't want to do too many podcasts, but I might be on Lou Betcher's show. So peace out, like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter. I'll put my bets there anyway. Follow me on Sherdog. Follow me on YouTube. Good night.